Valley with Century 21 Amigo and in the AV. So happy that you're here with us. We're going to meet today Denise Perry. What's your title over there at Dream Center?
So I am the president and co-founder of the Antelope Valley Dream Center.
Perry, president and co-founder of the Antelope Valley Dream Center. So we're happy to have her here and to let us know all the great things she's doing right here in the Antelope Valley.
Yeah.
And to find ways that you can serve and help her. So let's first start off with
What am I doing?
How did you come, well, you're the founder, right?
Yes,
so
my
there
husband
must
and
have
I.
been an idea, an epiphany that came at some time. What was that?
Yeah.
Was there an event when that happened?
So what's happened was over the years, my husband and I have always been involved with church. So we are a faith-based organization. And we always served at our church and just felt like we need to get out of the walls of the church. And church is great,
right?
But we can serve more people outside of the walls. And so I don't know if anyone has heard of the Dream Center, the LA Dream Center. That's the biggest one. LA and Phoenix probably are the biggest ones.
Do they do the same thing you do?
So they do like major stuff. So they actually took over the Queen of Angels Hospital years ago. They've been around for over 20 years now. So anyone that's grown up out here in LA is familiar with the Queen of Angels Hospital. My dad was actually born there years ago. So that was empty, and long story short, they ended up taking that over. So they house a lot of people, and they have a lot of programs and do a lot of that. And so they would have like conferences every year, and my husband and I would go to these conferences. And it was just more about just learning how to serve at your church or your community. And long story short, after just kind of being inspired by what they do, and there are actually probably over 200 dream centers all around the world, actually.
Wow.
And we're all our own 501c3 organization. And we decided that there was a need out here in the Antelope Valley because, let's face it, there's a lot of people that are helping, but there's not enough. There's always people in need.
Right.
And so we decided to start this over 6 years ago, and my husband, John, and I. And not really sure what we were doing, just knew we needed to serve the community.
Right.
And it was kind of just on God's goodwill and how he wanted to direct us because, again, we are faith-based. And from one thing led to another. And so I'm not making this interview super long. And now we're, serving over 600 families a month with groceries.
Wow.
Yeah. So we exist to build people up, restore hope in their lives, inspire them to dream again. So build, restore, inspire is kind of our little motto. And our mission really is to reach the unreached people of the Antelope Valley. So we're looking for the people that are under-resourced, that there's not a lot of resources where they live. And there is little pockets around the Antelope Valley.
We have like Neenac and then like out off of H. How far out do you go?
So right now we expand out. So what we do is a mobile food truck, and we load up our trucks with groceries. We have several teams that go out on our Serve Day Saturday, which is every last Saturday of the month, except for November, December, because we try to do that before the holiday.
Okay.
And we break up into different teams and take food out to these locations. So we go as far as Avenue G and Division out in Lancaster. So over by the dump, there's people that live way out there in the desert.
Right.
And then we also go out to Lake LA and Pear Blossom. And then we have a couple spots in Lancaster and even in Palmdale where we serve, the community in that way as well. And we're not trying to duplicate what other people are doing because there's a lot of great, nonprofit organizations out here. We're trying to find the places that people can't really get to those resources.
Okay.
So maybe there's not a nearby food bank they can just walk over to. And so that's our goal, is just to find those places where there's not resources that they can get to food easily, especially people that don't have vehicles or they have small children and they have to take a bus or whatever. And so our last recent site that we actually started was at the East Side Lancaster School District. And they're kind of in the corner of kind of the inner city part of Lancaster, and there's not a nearby bus stop. So they contacted us. They're like, hey, we know what you guys are doing. And we went and met with them. We're like, here's our goal, fill in the gaps. And they're like, we're perfect because we don't have a nearby bus stop. And then when people get to the bus, they have to go around this entire route, to get to anywhere, especially if you have small children or seniors who can't, they're disabled or whatever. So they just said, hey, we're perfect. So we're now serving at their community center over 120 families, I think now was what they're at, just for that one specific site. So hundreds of people out here, and it's grown to craziness.
That's exciting to be able to help like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So how can people get a hold of you?
So they can get a hold of us through, a couple different ways. They can go to our website at avdreamcenter.org. We also have another website that we started, which is avhungerrelief.org, and that's specifically for people who are looking for our sites. So they can go to avhungerrelief.org and find out where we're going to be on what day, what time, and what location. So then they can figure out, do I live in this area? Then that's the closest site that I can get to.
And then do you need them do they sign up or register so that you know that?
They don't have to pre-sign up. Okay. They don't have to bring everyone's self-verified. So they do sign in, on a sign-up sheet, because we are a USDA certified distributor. So we are certified with the USDA to distribute that food. Okay. And we go to Long Beach and pick it up and bring it back up here. And people just basically sign. They just have to put their address and then how many people are in their household. And there's quite like self-verifying. So yes, I make this much income. And that's basically it. We're not verifying. You don't have to bring paycheck stubs or nothing like that. Right. It's on trust. Yeah. So, yeah.
And so do you go purchase the food in Long Beach, or is that being donated?
No, it's all done. It's all given to us through the USDA and through their Southern California Food Bank. So we take a big truck out there, and which is actually what we were doing this morning. And we go to Long Beach, and then we haul the food back up here, and then it'll be given out tomorrow, actually, which is February 29th will be our next
So do you order them and tell them how many families you're serving, and then they give you a certain amount?
Yeah, we do have to turn in the paperwork to them. Okay. So they do see, to clarify and verify that, this is the amount of people that we're serving in the Antelope Valley. Okay. And then they know how much to give us. So that's basically how it works.
And then do they provide a certain amount for just a couple of weeks of groceries, or?
Yeah, it depends. It's always different depending on what they have to give us. And so usually people can make some of the groceries that we give them last at least a week. Yeah. And I actually want to throw some statistics at you because people might not understand this. And I know out here people don't really know that there's a lot of lower income people and families that are struggling. So just to give people an idea, about 30% of the families that live in the AV struggle with food insecurities.
So that's going up.
And that's families with children. Yeah. And then another one I want to give you is about senior citizens, because people don't realize this with seniors, that 60% of the seniors go without food in order to pay for heating and electric. So they're trying to pay for their 60%? Utilities. About 60% of seniors do that. A lot of them will also dilute their drink to make it last. Yeah. Some of them will go without food so they can go to the doctor and get their medication because they're not given enough money maybe on Social Security. Right. And so people don't realize that. So our goal, even though we do serve a small population of homeless people, but most of the people we serve are just families, veterans, people on disability, seniors, and they're just trying to make ends meet, and they're living by paycheck. And we're trying to prevent them from becoming another homeless statistic. Right. So that's really our goal, is prevention and keeping the people, if we can give them groceries for that, and they can use that money that they would have used, for food and pay a bill, utility, put gas in their car to go to work, whatever, then,
especially at the end of the month when you're trying to make that money stretch over to get their next paycheck, next money.
Yes, correct.
So, okay. Yeah. That's so awesome. I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited that you came to share this with us.
Yeah. And for more information, people can look us up online. And we also have a Facebook page, which is AV Dream Center. Okay. So they can go there as well and see, what we're doing and what's coming up and all that good stuff. Yeah. And you can also donate there. So if you want to be a financial partner, we can always use the finances.
So you mostly need the money, right? Because you're getting the food from from down
we
below.
yeah
so.
we're not paying for food, but we have trucks to run. We
Gas.
have fuel, which we all know in California is
Oh
ridiculous.
my gosh, right?
Insurances, we are legit 501c3, so we do carry insurance, liability, and all of those things like we have to.
Paperwork and attorneys and stuff
it's
like
a lot,
that, right?
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And of course we always need helping hands, so we always need volunteers to come
Sorting
and serve with us.
Groceries.
Sorting and really our goal is to build relationships with people in the Antelope Valley so we know what their needs are. Okay. So if we have a family that needs other things like clothes or whatever, we can give them those resources or send them to another organization that has resources maybe that we don't have.
Right.
So it's building those relationships with the people.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming.
You're welcome.
So thanks for joining us here at In the AV. This is Linda Hawley, Century 21 Amigo, with Denise Perry from the Antelope Valley Dream Center. So thank you so much. Bye.